There are tons of different ways to hide your activities online, and VPNs are no exception. What's up, guys? It's Veraxity, aka Lord Varquad, aka the guy that disappears for a month. Yes, I know, my last video was a month ago, but hey, hear me out. I was on vacation, and during my time on vacation, get this right, I basically became an international terrorist, dude. Yeah, that's right, you heard me correctly. I was on the run from multiple governments across the globe. My Queen of England joke a couple of videos ago, yeah, they wanted my head, dude. They were after me. But you know how I stayed safe from being on the run from the government? That's right, you guessed it, with a VPN. And so that got me thinking, you know, which VPN is actually the best VPN out there? And you know, dude, finding a good VPN, you know, they're just so oversaturated, right? There's a ton of VPNs that's on YouTube, and they're all like, you know, sponsored by NordVPN, sponsored by this, sponsored by that. You know, we're not looking at any of that sort of stuff today. We're going to be looking at VPNs that I have used, whether that be in the past or that I use now. And we're going to be taking a look at each of these VPNs, and I'm going to be listing, you know, the pros and cons of each of them, and I'm going to be ranking them on the VPN tier list. You know, just in case you're blind and you can't read the title of this video. That's what it's about. It's the VPN tier list. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you know, sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, grab a cup of coffee, grab whatever you want. And while you're at it, you should probably grab an entire artillery, maybe, you know, an F-22 fighter jet, maybe just grab, you know, a couple machine guns, because you're gonna be on some sort of watch list after you watch this video. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right in to the VPN tier list. So as you can see here, we have the lovely VPN tier list, everybody, and now there's a couple of logos that maybe you might, you know, recognize, and some that you probably don't recognize. But for the very first VPN that we're going to be ranking, we're going to be starting off with something that I have mentioned before in my previous videos, because I used to use it a lot, and that VPN is going to be AirVPN, alright? Now, one thing about AirVPN is it's based in Italy, so, you know, do with that what you will. They say that they don't keep logs, but, you know, apparently online there's some, you know, word on the street, if you will, is that they do keep logs. Now, I can't prove this, but I know on their website it does say that they don't keep logs. Now, that's a big thing for privacy. If you want a VPN, you don't want them logging the activity that you use on their servers, right? I mean, the whole point of a VPN is to be anonymous. But there is one thing that's kind of cool about AirVPN, and it's that it lets you port forward, right? So if you set up a Minecraft server on your own, you know, home network, and you don't want to expose your home IP to your friends or whatever, for whatever reason, you could actually just route your Minecraft server through AirVPN, which is kind of cool. You know, not a lot of VPNs offer the satisfaction of being able to port forward on them, just because I guess, I don't know, it's probably a little more complex to set up. But also, one thing that I did notice about this VPN whenever I used it was it's kind of slow, alright? Okay, I lied. It's not kind of slow, it's pretty slow, dude. Like, this would limit my speed so much whenever I used it, and this was probably like 2 years ago, so I don't really know if they changed or not, but just for that, this is going to get a B tier. It would be a C tier if it, you know, didn't have the port forwarding capabilities. If it didn't have some extra pros to outweigh those cons, it would definitely be a C tier. But overall, AirVPN, if you want to stay anonymous, I don't know if you should use this for being anonymous, but if you do want the ability to port forward through your VPN connection, then you know, go right ahead, use AirVPN. They didn't let me down for port forwarding. That worked pretty much flawlessly. It was honestly pretty sick. I remember a couple years ago, I didn't even know you could port forward through a VPN. But yeah, guys, like I said, AirVPN's slow. They might keep logs. I can't really put my finger on it, so obviously not the best for privacy, but they do let you port forward. And now we're going to be looking at our next VPN, which is the dreaded NordVPN. I mean, everybody knows who NordVPN is, dude. You see these people everywhere. They're on like every single tech YouTuber's video, you know, me included, from a while ago, which is the only reason that I used them before and the only reason that I'm making a review on them now. But NordVPN. So NordVPN is based in Panama, and, you know, they say they give you 100 megabits a second upload and download, which is pretty good, right? Pretty fast VPN. And from what I could tell, they weren't really lying. You know, I did get some pretty good speeds out of NordVPN whenever I did use it. And they also say they don't keep logs, but honestly, dude, I don't know. These guys are huge, right? There's probably so many people using their VPN servers for like crazy shit that I wouldn't put it past them to keep logs. But they are pretty fast, and for what I can remember, I did, you know, somewhat enjoy their servers. However, one thing that I noticed was, you know, if you like to play GTA 5M or just any sort of game with shitty netcode, and you get your IP pulled a lot, these guys aren't really that reliable for DDoS protection, right? So obviously you would much rather where your VPN's IP get DDoSed, but what if your VPN server goes down, dude? You have to keep switching servers. It's not a good time. And one thing that I do remember vividly about NordVPN is their servers would go down because guess what? Their DDoS protection, kind of dog shit, bro. But like I said, they say they don't keep logs, although I really wouldn't trust them on that one, just because of how big they are. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about NordVPN. For that, it's going, I don't know, we'll put it in B tier because the speeds are okay. But like I said, I would not use this for anonymity purposes, right? The government knows who you are if you're using NordVPN. Come on now. So yeah, NordVPN is gonna get a B tier. You know, I like the speeds. I like how smooth the UI is whenever you go to connect to the VPN server. I think it looks pretty clean and it functions as intended. However, it's getting a B tier solely because, you know, I really don't trust them not to keep logs, and I really don't like their DDoS protection, right? It's kind of dog shit. But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up NordVPN. So we're gonna get on to our next VPN, which you might have known, might have used, might have seen. It's gonna be ProtonVPN. Now, I've used ProtonVPN on and off for a while now. You know, shout out Smoogle. Thanks for account sharing with me. You're the man. But ProtonVPN is one of those things. It's, if you ever seen Proton Mail, you know, it's super private, internet email, encrypted, all that bullshit. And for the most part, it does do its job, right? It is private, it's encrypted. They are based in Switzerland, which has very good cyber laws and, you know, no data retention laws, meaning you don't have to store logs, which they say they don't store logs. And I honestly believe these guys more than I believe NordVPN or AirVPN. So I'm gonna give this one an A ranking just for the privacy features and, you know, where it's based like that. But let's talk a little bit about speeds and DDoS protection. So ProtonVPN, the speeds honestly probably match NordVPN out of anything else on this list. They're pretty good speeds, it's pretty fast and reliable. The DDoS protection is slightly better than NordVPN. I've noticed I have got my server hit offline before whenever I was playing games with ProtonVPN or testing it myself, but you know, this one just gets an A tier because of the privacy reasons. You know, you could actually use this VPN probably a little bit more than these two to be more private. If you really want to make sure nobody's spying on you, I wouldn't go with them completely. I wouldn't put your full trust in them, but I do trust them not to keep logs more than the two below this one. So ProtonVPN, good job. You get an A tier. I like the UI. It's really simple to use, and they do let you port forward, even though you can't really keep the ports. They do change a lot, but they do let you port forward on ProtonVPN. So that's always a plus. And next up in our line list of VPNs down here, we have this little guy down here. Now this is MullvadVPN, and some of you might actually recognize MullvadVPN. Some of you might use it right now, but there's a little bit of history behind MullvadVPN, so let's talk about it. So you guys are probably familiar with PomPomPurin, the hacker, who ran breach forums in 2022. So this forum was a huge cybercrime forum where people would leak and trade all kinds of stolen, like, sensitive data, all sorts of database leaks out the ass, just all over this website, right? And now the hacker known as PomPomPurin actually himself used MullvadVPN. And around the time that this forum got shut down and the FBI was on his case, they actually went over to the headquarters of MullvadVPN, which is based in Sweden, and they asked for logs. And guess what? MullvadVPN could not provide them with logs. Why? Because they stuck true to their words on their no log policy, and they never provided anybody with any sort of logs or evidence that, you know, PomPomPurin was actually using these guys. The only way that the glowies, if you will, found out he was using Mullvad was because the IPs they traced. They had no other evidence on him besides that. They couldn't get the logs, so it was all pretty much, you know, we know you're using this, but we can't really prove it. Well, until they found his entire OPSEC leaked. But that's besides the point. If you're going to use MullvadVPN, this is a very privacy-oriented VPN, and just because of the audit that they had for PomPomPurin, which they couldn't provide any logs, and this is all documented, you could find this, you know, source, I made it up, no I didn't. No, so these guys actually don't keep logs, and it has been proven. So these guys, in my books, they're just getting an S tier, man, boom. Now, the speeds and the DDoS protection, they seem okay. You know, I haven't done anything. I don't even think I played 5M with this VPN. I've only used it a couple of times just to test it out. But the speeds did match Proton and NordVPN, which are, you know, probably some of the best speeds you're going to get whenever you're using a VPN. but Mullvad isn't the one that I use right now, and there's actually a reason for that. So good job, Mullvad, for keeping our information private and secure and destroying all the logs that go in and out of your servers. But the next VPN, which is also an S tier, is the one that I'm using right now, and that is SafeRouteVPN. Now, I really like this VPN. Why? Because it's fast, man. This VPN is extremely fast for, I mean, at least for what I needed. I was getting speeds that, you know, these guys couldn't even match whenever I was using SafeRoute. And that's rare to come across whenever you're looking for a commercial VPN to get. You know, it also does depend on your internet and how good it is. But another thing that I really like about SafeRoute is I noticed whenever I connect to the servers, if you run an IP trace on your VPN servers, you can see exactly who owns them. You know, you can trace ProtonVPN, you can trace NordVPN, you can see what kind of servers they are. Now with SafeRouteVPN, I noticed that they are using OVH DDoS protected servers, and that's pristine, right? There's not a lot of people out there that are going to piss you off, right? There's not a lot of people out there that are actually going to do shit if you have an OVH VPN server. This is because their DDoS protections is basically unmatched, dude. Stock OVH servers come with really good protection, and SafeRoute is no stranger to that, not at all. Now, it does say they don't keep any logs. You know, it's up to you how much you want to trust that, but I trust these guys, man. But hey, that's just me. This is just the VPN that I'm using right now. It used to be AirVPN, and look where I placed that. But no, SafeRouteVPN, they have really crazy fast speeds, extremely good DDoS protection from what I can see. I've never been hit off once when I was using SafeRoute. And yeah, man, SafeRouteVPN, good job, guys. You got yourself an S tier. So moving on to our next VPN, we're going down right in the little corner right here to this guy. Now, some of you guys might recognize this VPN. This VPN is CyberGhost VPN. Now, CyberGhost VPN was actually the first VPN that I ever purchased, dude. I was like 14 whenever I had a subscription to this VPN. And back then, I was a dumb kid, okay? I was stupid. But CyberGhost VPN is based in Bucharest. Now, CyberGhost VPN, they say they don't keep logs. They say your information's private and encrypted, but with a name like CyberGhost, I don't know, dude. That just sounds like an FBI honeypot to me. But hey, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll say they don't keep logs, right? The speeds on CyberGhost VPN, they're not the greatest, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Last time I used them, you couldn't even port forward, which, you know, you don't really need to port forward on a VPN. I'm just being picky. But like I said, I don't know how much I trust these guys. They weren't the fastest whenever I used them, and you really can't port forward on this VPN, so I don't know, man. These guys, I'm just gonna have to give them the C, man. They're just not as good as they're not as good as how they make themselves look, you know what I mean? Like CyberGhost, that sounds pretty cool, but it's kind of mid, you know what I mean? But on to the next one right here, which is going to be ExpressVPN. You've probably seen this one before too. I know Mutahar endorsed ExpressVPN before, and for pretty good reason. These guys are very private. I don't know if they have been audited before, so there's really no telling if they do store logs or not, but I can almost guarantee you that these guys don't store logs. And why is that, Veraxity? How can you be so sure? That's because on their website, it says they store everything in RAM. Now, if you don't know, RAM, or random access memory, is actually volatile memory, so it's not like a hard drive or an SSD. It doesn't store information indefinitely, and the information, as soon as the power is cut, it's all gone, man. That's the benefit of having a VPN store your stuff in RAM. Now, from my experience, it wasn't the fastest VPN, and I know their DDoS protection's nowhere as near, you know, as an OVH server or anything like that. But I do know they don't store logs, or if they even do store logs, then all it takes is one power off button and everything's gone. So judging the weight of the balances here, I'm going to give them a B tier, at least in my books. You know, they're kind of big, they're kind of out there. A lot of people probably use it, so there's, you know, it's under a lot of load constantly. And that's just not what I'm looking for whenever I'm trying to get a VPN. So ExpressVPN, you're getting a B tier. Great no logs policy, by the way. You know, great storing everything in RAM, if that is true. I don't know, you could be lying to our faces, but I do really think they're probably pretty good for privacy if you are going to choose these guys. One thing about ExpressVPN is, you know, they're getting a B tier because they are a little bit pricey. You can find some VPNs for very, 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 very cheap, like AirVPN. I know they're like $4 a month, dude. But ExpressVPN, it's getting, you know, it's leaning towards the $15 a month. And I don't know if you should be paying for public VPN servers for $15 a month, man. You'd be better off getting something like SafeRoute or Mullvad. SafeRoute being the best bang for your buck, in my opinion, because it's literally half the price of ExpressVPN, and it's way faster. But now we're on to our last VPN, ladies and gentlemen, and that is TunnelBear VPN. Now, I don't know if this is just me. Maybe I'm a little bit biased or something, but dude, Whenever I used TunnelBear VPN, their speeds were awful, dude. They were awful for no reason either. Like, my internet's fine. I have gigabit internet up and down, but I don't know why these speeds were just terrible whenever I used them. Now, another thing about TunnelBear is they are based in Canada, and they do say they don't keep logs, right? They say they have a no logs policy, but I doubt they're stored in RAM or anything like that, unless it specifically says, and I'm just an idiot. But I don't know, man. I did not have the best experience with TunnelBear VPN. Oh, look at that. I would try to put it back and it went right to where it was going to get ranked anyway. but yeah, guys, F tier for TunnelBear, man. I'm sorry, TunnelBear, if you're watching this, dude. Your product doesn't like me, man. I'm actually mad that I gave them money, dude. Now, granted, they are pretty cheap. They're only like, I think like $5 a month or something like that. But I don't know, man. I just would not trust them with your logs. I wouldn't trust them with your data. I wouldn't trust them to get faster speeds than a Pringles can, right? So TunnelBear, sorry guys, in my books, you're getting an F. But yeah, guys, over all the VPNs that I've used in my lifetime, this is where I would rank them all. So I just wanted to make this video today showing you exactly where I would put these VPNs that I've used personally. That way you could better formulate an opinion yourself before you end up purchasing one of these and giving them your hard-earned money. You know, whether it be you're after speeds, whether it be you're after DDoS protection, or whether it be you just want to be anonymous online. I just want to be anonymous online, man. I hope you could better base your opinion on what VPN you want because of this VPN tier list. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion to the VPN tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have more videos coming out for you soon. I know I say that all the time, but listen, dude, come on. I was at the beach, man. I was running from the federal entities, right? I'm just kidding, by the way. But yeah, guys, this was the VPN tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. If you really enjoyed it, you know, drop a sub. Join the fucking skid army, if you will. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate all your support. Thanks for continuing to watch my videos, and yeah, peace out.